All right, Joe, New Year's Knockout, January 31st, 2015. What a way to keep our year going.
That's right, PK. Here we are starting off 2015 with one of the most exciting shows I've ever seen here at the arena, PK.
No doubt about that, Joe. The first match, White Trash versus Keith Cage and Jamar Anderson. Man, I'll tell you something, what a great match. I love how the fans started chanting, "Take the trash out."
Yeah, well, I'll tell you something, that's a lot of disrespect for such a seasoned tag team as White Trash.
Well, Joe, ultimately, White Trash got distracted by one of our audience members, and Cody Fairview got rolled up from behind by Keith Cage, who got the pin, giving Jamar Anderson and Keith Cage the victory in this match.
And I'll tell you something, that says a lot about about Jamar Anderson and Keith Cage. I mean, for them to be, like a first-time tag team to defeat such a seasoned tag team as White Trash, you got to give it to them, PK.
Well, Joe, then, of course, after that, we had the retirement of CC Devlin.
Yep.
You and I got to call quite a few of his matches, and not only is he a good guy in the ring, but he's a great guy out of the ring. And CC, Joe and I'll speak for both of us, we wish you the best.
That's right. Well, our number one hit will always be immortalized on the Billboard charts.
I'm sure he'll never forget. Then we had Ken O'Sullivan versus Wasabi for the Generations title match. And Joe, I'll tell you something. Saw some interesting things in this match.
Absolutely. BK, I think we're seeing Wasabi's true colors, because I've seen him kind of, as I say, he's tapping into all his resources to get a victory. It's about time he got a little more hunger in his system, and he's willing to break a few rules, as you say, to win some matches. Once he started doing that, that's when he started seeing gold around his waist.
Well, Joe, Ken O'Sullivan did get the victory, but unfortunately it was by disqualification. Wasabi hit him with some kind of foreign object, and then he hit him with a low blow and got disqualified. But what was really interesting was Ken O'Sullivan challenged him for a match at our next O show on February 7th. And then Wasabi, for some reason, is starting to speak English a lot better than he ever has in the past.
Well, there's Rosetta Stone. There's classes over there at the local university. You got to respect him for being such a driven man to learn the language of this country.
All right, Joe. Well, then we had Goth Black versus the Surf Facade, the White Knight. Very interesting match. Started out as a wrestling match, and then all of a sudden, man, it switched quickly to an MMA match.
That's right. I tell you something, like I said earlier in the match, in the world of martial arts, we traveled the world tonight in this match. We saw Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We saw Russian Samba. We saw all the great Far East martial arts all in one match, PK.
And I'll tell you something, the match started off really great when Goth Black, out of nowhere, with a Superman punch.
Wow.
Which we've never seen him do, and especially for a big guy like that, hit Surf Facade. It definitely set the pace, but ultimately, Surf Facade was able to choke him out with a guillotine, and he got the win.
Truly a shock to the wrestling world to see Goth Black pass out like that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Then we had Murder One versus Zach Daniels. And it was really interesting because, Joe, it was a good match, but, there was a couple times where Murder One's manager, Kevin, got involved.
Well, Kevin, he's a great man. He's cheering for Murder One. He wants to root for him. And let's just say, you can't really blame him for getting a little overzealous sometimes.
Well, Joe, ultimately, Murder One hit Zach Daniels with a clothesline and pinned him. And I'll tell you something, a lot of people were surprised by that victory.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you something. Murder One is a great wrestler, extremely seasoned like Zach Daniels. He just happened to be the better man this night.
Well, Joe, then we had our Soul Survivor match, the big match for tonight. And I'll tell you something, 10 wrestlers who qualified up to this point get in the ring, and of course, who do we see? The return of Mystic Storm, all the way from Orion's Belt, comes flying in here to entertain us fans.
PK, nobody comes from outer space, PK. I'm sure he comes from some small hick town in Mississippi.
Well, Joe, Kit Bryson was the first to get eliminated, and then it just kind of went from there. And then it came down to, Lane Cross and Johnny Pinhead, of all people,
absolutely,
and Mystic Storm. Lane Cross winds up tapping to a chokehold from Mystic Storm, which, man, I didn't see that coming. I thought Lane Cross, prior to that, looked like he was going to dominate this match.
Absolutely. Yeah, my money would have been on Lane Cross all the way, being the superior wrestler that he is.
Well, then, Joe, Johnny Pinhead actually rolled Mystic Storm into a small package and got the win. Johnny Pinhead, the relative newcomer, wins the Soul Survivor.
That's right. He defied all odds, literally.
100 to 1.
100 to 1 odds in Vegas. And I'll tell you something, whoever won that, and we know who it is now, became a very, very rich man.
Well, Joe, the next match was for the corporate championship. Rod Bolt versus Hardworking Hollywood versus the Highlander, Johnny Walker.
That's right.
Hardworking Hollywood comes out, makes a little speech to the fans saying, hey, I really do appreciate y'all. I realize now I don't need money. I don't need, just really praising. All of a sudden, you get the news that it was Hardworking Hollywood that put the money on Johnny Pinhead to win that match.
That's right, PK. Mr. Hollywood, no longer hardworking Hollywood. Mr. Hollywood is back. And I told all those ham and eggers out there that the prodigal son will return. And sure enough, he did tonight.
And Joe, he returned in true Hollywood fashion, hitting Johnny Walker with his his cell phone.
Come on.
And then getting the pin
What a
for the
poor
win.
sport.
And then we see the rebirth of the show.
Once again, the golden era of the OSWA back here in the arena with an even larger crowd now to enjoy their superior entertainment.
And then, Joe, of course, we had our main event, which was for the Ultimate Championship, Chad Silva versus Jake Hughes. Well, Jake Hughes comes out to his music. Fans are happy to see him. Chad Silva comes out to his music, gets attacked from behind by Vengeance.
Absolutely.
And by the Monster Z, who do damage to that knee of Chad Silva to the point where he could not compete.
That's right. Chad Silva had to leave. He was injured. There was nothing he could have done about it, but somebody took his spot. Jake Hughes, they were getting ready to hand him that belt, but no, he wanted to fight. And there was somebody that gave him that opportunity.
That somebody was Zach Daniels after his match with Murder One.
Zach Daniels came out on behalf of Chad Silva to wrestle for him.
And I'll tell you something, it was a great match. I mean, Zach Daniels really pulled through for his friend, but unfortunately, Jake Hughes hit him with a Samoan slam and got the pin. It was real interesting because McFly then comes out to congratulate his best friend and his tag team partner.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden, Murder One comes out, and then Jake Hughes attacks McFly. Murder One attacks Zach Daniels. Then when they get in the ring with the other two men knocked out, it looked like to me that Jake Hughes and Murder One formed some kind of pact.
That's right, PK. And I'll tell you something, I am so excited about that. Not only do we have the return of the show, but we just might be seeing the birth of a new stable.
Well, Joe, I'll tell you this much.
OSWA.
I was not happy to see it. It was a dishonorable win overall at that point. And so, as a matter of fact, we haven't done this in a recap for a while, but we're doing it here tonight. We have McFly to come in here and kind of tell us what he thinks about this situation.
That's right, McFly. Come on in and tell us what you think.
Welcome to the recap again, McFly.
Thank you. Thank y'all for letting me talk for just a second.
It's my pleasure.
I just got one person to address right now, and it's Jake Hughes. I've got a lot of different emotions right now that are going through my head, and I don't really know where to start. You know, when I open myself up to somebody and trust them and let them in, I do it 100%. And I know not a lot of people are like that. I am a very loyal person. And I really did want to push him to that next level and give him that belt. Or not give him the belt, but he earned it. I mean, he didn't beat the champion. And this isn't really about Murder One or whatever crap they got going on. I don't even know who Murder One is. He's some guy that just showed up one day. I don't know. I trusted you. And you did what everybody else does. Everybody that have came into my life does this eventually. I don't understand. I mean, is it about the belt? Is it about the belt? Because I don't give a crap about that stupid belt. I don't care about the belt or the tag team belts or any kind of other belts around here. It's not about that. I don't know. Like I said, I've got a lot of different emotions right now. I don't know where I'm going to go from here. I know what everybody wants me to do. They want me to come in and get back at him. I don't care. It's more than that for me. I'm not that type of person that's going to come out here and look in the camera and say, I'm going to come back next week and I'm going to beat him up. No. It truly hurts. This isn't fake. And anybody who's sitting there thinking it's fake, why don't you come and talk to me? This isn't about gimmicks. This isn't about having fun, because I love to have fun, but not today. Not today. I trusted you. And you ended up like everybody else. And that's something you have to live with. I'm done.
PK, I'll tell you something. You can tell right now that Alpha McFly is feeling this very deeply. And I'll tell you something. In a way, I can understand it, but another way, it also kind of excites me to see what maybe some kind of war or some kind of feud might be brewing here because of this situation.
Well, he's definitely got some storms brewing in his head right now, Joe. It will be interesting to see how this plays out. Folks, our next show is February 7th, this coming Saturday. We'll see how this plays out. We look forward to seeing you. We want to thank our fans, especially our fans that were here tonight. It was a great crowd for our first big show. Every seat was filled. The house was packed to capacity. We look forward to seeing you all this coming Saturday. Please continue to support us by going to the website, www.oswaentertainment.com, facebook.com/oswaentertainment, as well as youtube.com/oswaentertainment. You can also follow us on Twitter with the handle @the OSWA Entertainment. We appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you again, and we'll see you on the 7th.